So for now, we're going to go ahead and sit back in the chair and bring ourselves into the room. Means that we start to notice what we see around us. So you can observe your surroundings. And as I showed that picture yesterday, you guys see the pretty stuff and I see the mess, right? But that's okay. Good. Begin to notice what you hear in your area. And maybe you hear my voice, maybe you hear a little bit of music that I have very lightly in the background. Maybe you don't hear anything. Good. And then, we're kind of tuning into our senses. What do you smell? What do you taste? Now begin to notice the feeling of the temperature of the room. How does that feel on your skin? A lot of you have long sleeves on now, so I'm guessing you're in a slightly cold place, right? Or a lot cold place. Good. Notice how your clothing feels on you, using our senses of feeling. Now we're going to take all that external sensation and start to turn it internal. So that's when I invite you to either close your eyes or cast your gaze down so that you're not looking around so much, and just start to notice how your body feels here. Without judging or trying to fix anything, just notice what parts of the body are talking to you today. And what are they saying? Normally we listen to the parts that are not comfortable. As they say, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? But try to be aware of other parts of the body, the ones that are working really well, and be grateful. Thank you for the parts that are working well, and love to the parts that need a little extra love today. Start to notice how you feel mentally. No matter where you are, just acknowledge what you feel. You don't have to fix anything. But as we go through our practice, you may start to notice that things change a bit. And then finally, drawing your attention to your breath, feel the rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. Not really changing the breath, just notice what moves when you take that inhale. Feel the expansion of your lungs, and when you exhale, feel the lungs contract a bit. Good. We're going to take a few more breaths just like that. Inhaling, expanding the chest. Maybe taking the breath down into the lower parts of the lungs. And exhale, feeling everything pull back in as we let all of the air go. Continue with that mindful breathing and take 3 more.
I took all the sound off this.
Everybody on mute.
Off this. I don't know how to cure it.
I will put everybody on mute.
There it is.
Good. All right, good. And then just come back to a natural breath. Yay, welcome everybody who just joined. Got a few more people. Wow, this is a big group today. Let's see. All right, so now that we've brought our attention to this moment just with our breath, begin to notice how it feels to sit in your chair. Yeah, we like our chairs. Sometimes we're kind of leaning back in them a lot, right? And there's a lot of studies that come out to say that we're spending too much time sitting. So we spend too much time when we get some soreness and lack of muscle in our glutes. We really kind of need to start to get up more often. The only good thing is that we have to get up to go to the bathroom at least every once in a while, right? So just think about the next time you go to the bathroom, we're going to wiggle out the hips, right? So let's start to do that now. Let your hips and your torso wiggle around. Good. And then reverse. Good. And then come back to center. Good. We're going to start to scoot forward. And then scoot back. If you're taking care of an injured part, the hips or the pelvis, feel free to skip this. Yeah. This is really a way to start to warm up this area. But again, if this is painful for you, please skip anything that doesn't feel right in your body. Good. All right, then we're going to make our way to our seated position with our feet underneath our knees. You can see I've got my socks on today. We're going to take shoulders up toward the ears. Inhale and exhale, let them fall. Good. You can exhale through the mouth. Inhale, shoulders come up. Start to squeeze that space between your shoulders and your neck. And then exhale, let it go. Whew, my neck is feeling that one. One more time. Inhale. And this time, exhale, round back and down. Do you feel the difference? Good. Let's do that again. Shoulders up. Inhale. Exhale, back and down. Ooh, feel that stretch across. And I think I need one more. Good. Up and back and down. Good. Letting the shoulders relax. Good. Welcome, everybody. We've got some more people joining. Ann, Ron, and Gert made it on. Marge. Good. We're going to let the right ear start to rest over to the right shoulder. Notice how the left side of the neck feels. Good. And then bringing the head back to neutral, we'll go to the left. Good. Inhale back up. Exhale to the right. If you want to extend the left arm, you can, reaching out away. And then back up through center and over to the left. And I cue the breath, but that's just to remind you to breathe. Your breath might not happen the same time as mine. You might have a different time that you inhale and then come back up. Good. One more time, over to the right. Maybe the left hand even comes back behind us, if your shoulder's okay with that movement. Good. And then back up and left again. Right hand might come back behind you. Good. And then coming back up through here. Beautiful. Quick check-in. How is the sound? Is everything sounding okay? Is it all right? Okay, good. Got another person joining. So we're going to continue with the neck. See if you can feel the length of your neck as if you were pulling your neck away from your shoulders a little. And you can technically do it with your hands, or you can just feel the length, right? Keeping the length, tuck your chin down towards your chest and notice where you feel that. So we're gonna pause here for a couple of breaths. Feel the shoulders down and the neck long. And then slowly take your chin to the right. So doing a tiny twist while we're forward in this neck, and then back to center. And then over to the left. And center. Let's continue a couple more times at your own pace. You don't have to breathe a certain way, but just make sure you are still breathing. I know that sounds crazy, but people do hold their breaths all the time. Bring your chin back to your chest, and then slowly lifting the head. You can take your chin and lift your chin up a little bit. Feel the front of your throat get a nice stretch. And then tuck your chin back down. If you wanted to add your arms behind your head, you can clasp your hands behind your head and then gently lift your chin. This is a little bit of shoulder work now, so feel free to skip it if it doesn't feel good. And then exhale, chin to chest, maybe elbows together. We're going to take two more. Inhale. As we expand, lift our heart, lift our gaze. Exhale, lower. Good. Last one. Good. And then as we release, we're going to bring the hands down to this thighs and then lift the head. And then start to find those circles, taking your chin and circling it around. And exploring where you feel this. If you find a sticky spot, a place where you kind of feel like you need to spend a little time there. Pause and rock back and forth there. And then just very mindfully, after a few rounds, reverse the direction. Now, if you've had some neck issues recently, keep this movement very small. I know I have. I've got some tightness right across the tops of my shoulders that go into the neck. Good. And then bring the head back to neutral. And just say, yeah. The neck needs a lot of love. It really does. All right. So now we're going to continue into some other movement that starts to move, from the shoulders down. So bring the hands to the shoulders. Good. And then we're going to bring the elbows forward as if they're going to try and kiss. Good. And then inhale to bring them back. Gently squeezing the shoulders back. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale back. Maybe your chest comes forward when you do this. Good. Exhale. Good. Inhale. The next time we come forward, we're going to see if we can bring the elbows up and around, making some circles. Going slow, small, or bigger if your shoulders are okay with that. And then reverse the direction. Reaching back and up and forward. So I love this movement because it really works into everything that surrounds the shoulders, the chest, the upper back, and even the neck. And after a few, we're just going to bring it down, let the shoulders shake out. Woohoo, do a little shimmy. I see you doing that shimmy, Gloria. Yeah, do your little shimmy. That's great. All right, nice. We're starting to feel a little more loose, at least from here to here. Yeah. All right, so the rest of the body needs love too, right? All right, so we're going to come into, let's do a little bit of hand stuff, and then we'll start continuing down through our flow. So let's see, let's open and close the hands. I'm going to get a little closer so you can see. So we're squeezing and then stretching. I know with the cooler weather, I definitely feel a little more arthritis these days. Spreading. And the next time your hands are in fists, we're going to circle the wrists. And then reverse. And then spreading the fingers wide, press your palms forward, and then up and down. Getting those wrists going. And then reaching your fingers straight out, can you tilt to the right and tilt to the left? Wrists move in that way, but it's not a lot of mobility. All right. Good. And then shake out the hands. All right, good. So, yeah, let's start to pay attention to the spine. So we're going to do a little bit of a flow movement together. So with an inhale, we're sweeping the arms up. If you're having shoulder issues, you can just bring it to here. If you want to come up high, you can. It's going to be our full moon, even though it's past the full moon, right? Good. And then we're going to lean to the right, and your hand can come to the chest. And inhale back up, and then exhale to the left. Finding your side stretch. Inhale back up. Exhale, twist to your right. Hands go over to the right, and looking over to the right shoulder. Inhale back up. Exhale to the left. Good. Inhale back to center. Reach up tall. Exhale, bring your hands to your thighs. Forward fold. Let your belly come closer to your thighs. Head hangs down. Inhale, come up halfway. Feel your shoulders down the back. Hands on thighs. And then I'll take your chest forward. So we're going to make this like our cow pose. And then round as we push the belly in and push away. Let's try that again. Inhale, chest forward. And exhale, round. Good. Inhale, come up to a neutral spine. Hands to heart. Good. Let's put that all together. We're going to do that sequence a few more times. Let's say 3 more times. So inhale, arms come up or hands to heart. Good. Exhale, lean to the right. Back to center. Lean to the left. Good. Inhale, back to center, bad, twist to the right. And back through center and then twist to the left. Find your own pace. It may be faster or slower than mine. Reaching up tall, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands to the thighs, forward fold. Good. Inhale, come up halfway, place your hands on your thighs. Take your chest forward, arch your back a little here. And then exhale, round, tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin as you come into the cat. Good. Come back through center. Bring your hands back to heart. So that's a little different than we normally do. And if you find it's too much, you can come up before you do cat-cow. Okay? Last one. Well, no, let's do two more. Inhale up. Exhale, lean to the right. Back through center and over to the left. Good. In through center, twist to the right. You might find that your spine is starting to loosen up as we continue through the movement. Up and then over to the left. Good. Back through center, lengthening the spine and forward fold. Come up to halfway. Draw your chest forward, shoulders down. Good. And exhale, round, pushing away to our cat pose. Inhale, back to neutral spine, hands together. Good. Last round. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, over to the right. And back through center. And then over to the left. Back through center. Twist to the right. And up. And to the left. And up. Lengthen up through your spine. Reach up tall. And then forward fold. Come up halfway. Shoulders back, chest forward, cow pose. Exhale, round, pulling the belly back, rounding shoulders forward. Cat pose. Back through center, hands to heart. Pause here, close your eyes. Notice how your body feels. Notice what sensations that those poses brought to you. Notice the pace of your breath and your heart rate. When you're ready, gently release your hands. Beautiful. It's a great time for a water break if you're ready for that. Yay. Whew. And a good check-in time. How's everybody feeling so far? Thumbs up, thumbs down, just a eh. All right. Nice. Good to see everybody. We have a really big group today. We have something like, well, it's 19 people logged in, but then there's a lot of couples here. So probably about 24, something like that. Nice group. So all of that movement helped us get our spine moving, all the different ways that it does. What is really yoga? Really, yoga is just about our body making different shapes while we breathe. That's the physical part of it. The mental part is our mind paying attention to how our body feels as we make those shapes. And if you are honoring your own body, you decide how to go into that pose and what feels best in your body, right? So for example, if we're doing a big side stretch and you decide, wait, that's way too much. I'm going to back off. How am I going to back off? Maybe I bring my hand to my shoulder. Maybe I let the right hand hold me up, right? So you can always decide whether you go really big or you come into a more gentle version of that, right? Nice. Oh, since we did it on one side, we got to do the other side. So we're just stretching out other direction. So if we're not holding on to anything and we go really far, that's our strenuous version. And then to back off, we bring the hands down, hands to shoulder. Yeah, so you decide. We take different shapes with the body and everybody's doing what works for their body. Bring it back to center. And that's really what the physical part of yoga is about. Mind, body, breath. That's it. Okay. So now that we've got the spine warmed up, let's go through the hips. So we're gonna bring the right knee into the chest, lifting it up. And it's not really even to the chest. It's just lifting the leg and hugging it in as much as you can. Point and flex the toes. Feel how that affects maybe your ankle, the soles of the feet, the toes, as you move that. And then we're going to rotate that ankle around a few times. Anytime this becomes too tiring for you, just let the leg relax down. Good, and then reverse. Good. Let's let the leg come down. Stretch it out in front for just a moment. Just notice how it feels. Right here, the front of your thigh is our flexor. And I'm going to talk about stuff I feel, but you may feel something different. So don't feel like you're weird because you have a different sensation than I do. Everybody's different, right? So now again, as that right leg comes up, we can hold the bottom of the thigh or the front of the knee as we take some circles. Drawing that knee around and out and down a few times. And then reversing the direction. Know that holding on helps you make this gentler, and letting go makes it more effort. Good. Now bring the leg down and again stretch it out. Let that thigh. So that's the main reason I spend a lot of time on our hips and our thighs, working on those areas, because I want to make sure that you are comfortable moving around, walking around, and not afraid of falling. Of course, we're all afraid of falling, but we do want to be able to manage that as best as we can. So if we stay stronger through our hips, stronger through our core, that will minimize the issues that we might have. So left side, hugs it in, maybe point and flex. Maybe rotate the ankle around. Feel not just the ankle, but what happens through the foot, the bottom of the foot, and then reverse. And when you're ready to let the leg release down, stretch it out for just a little bit. Feel the front of the thigh. You could lean back if you want to. There's no rules against that. But when you lean back, you got to come back up. And that means you got to use these muscles right here, right? So just feel how that is. And then we're going to slowly come back up. Did you notice that? If you leaned back, what does it take to come back up? We've got to use our core. Or you're using your hands to push yourself up. Either way, we're still using the core. All right, left knee comes in. And this time, taking those circles. Make it soft, make it stronger by letting go, and then reverse. Again, your choice. Do you want to hold on or do you want to let the muscles take over here? Good. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bring that leg down, stretch it out. Feel the front of it release. Again, lean back if you want to. Just know that when we do this, it's basically a sit-up, right? It's basically a sit-up, which is actually leaning, pulling ourselves back up, right? Oh my goodness, that's a little bit of work. We have to pull ourselves back up. Oh, I had never done these before here. All right, and lean back up. Oh, good. Knee back in. Did anybody feel that? That's pretty much core work. All right. Take your legs a little wider. Isn't that cool? We can do sit-ups while we're here. And sit-ups are not my favorite thing at all right? So bring the legs out and maybe give yourself a little lower back stretch just by leaning forward into our half forward fold or full forward fold if you'd like to slide your hands down. Head relaxes, gently shake your head, yes and no. Checking in back with your neck. How's your neck feeling? And now the other side of our core, bringing your hands to your thighs. Start to straighten out the spine and then press back up. So our core is not just our abdominal muscles that happen when we pull ourselves up into what do we call it, a sit-up. It's also the back muscles that bring us up from here. So 3 different ways to do this. As we lean forward, keep the shoulders down and back, belly drawn in. That's the core. Notice that the back muscles are working there. Good. And to come up, the gentlest way, you push into your hands and come on up. Now that's the gentlest way. I'm going to show you other ways. Come forward. And now maybe instead of pushing into your thighs, you reach your arms out to the side. Good. And then you use your muscles, belly pulls in, and come on up. Do you feel the difference? Yeah, so there's a little bit extra there. Now, the most challenging way, it's a longer lever. If you're anybody who's into engineering, we're going to take that knee forward. Remember, keep your hands on your thighs if you need to make this gentle. If you want to make it extra strong, you reach your arms out in front of you. Long lever. Push into your feet, draw the belly in, come on up. Good. Phew, and then release. Nice job. Wow, so that's these whole back muscles all the way down the spine into the lower back. All right, I'm already sweating, even though it's cold here. All right, so beautiful. So now we've got the spine, we've got the hips going. How about knees? So we're going to straighten the leg on the right side and do a few soccer kicks. Notice it's not just the knees happening here. You probably feel it in the thigh too. Good, and bring it down. Good, and left leg. So we're going to straighten, kick a few times. So you can make this super gentle by just barely lifting the leg, right? You can just barely lift the leg. If you want to make it a little stronger, now we sit up tall, we feel our tush pressing into the ground, and we bring that right leg up and extend the right leg out. Good, again, a few soccer kicks. So these muscles, can you feel that? If you place your hand on your thigh or your hip, what's working there? And then can you say, oh, that's enough? Bring it down because you get a little bit of a cramp or tension somewhere, right? Good. Other side. Left leg comes up, stretch out the leg, and we'll do some pressing out. Especially if you push through the heel, you're going to feel a little bit more through the top of your thigh and through the calf. Good. And then release down. Good. Phew. Maybe let your legs stretch out, maybe lean back again. And this is totally a non-yoga move. I don't normally encourage people to lean back, but it just feels good, doesn't it? Now, depending on where your chair hits, you may even let your arms reach out to the side and gently look up. Finding a little bit of a back bend if your chair hits somewhere around your shoulders or below. Good, now we still have to make our way back up. So bring your arms forward, either use your hands to press into the chair or use your core muscles to come back up. Oh, big difference, right? All right, beautiful. Now let's kind of get going through the feet. So we're gonna lift the heels and then lift the toes. We're gonna not alternate, we'll just do heels and toes. Good. And then, I always try to make us practice our brain stuff. So right heel, left toe, left heel, right toe. Doing a little paddling motion. Kind of paying attention. This is our mind-body connection here. Now, if we wanted to add more, you know what's coming, right? Maybe we let our arms go out to the sides. And we try to circle the arms while our feet are paddling. Good. And then see if you can turn your palms up and reverse. Oops, I lost it. It's really tricky. All right. And then release. Beautiful. Tap off the feet. Yeah, feel that sensation as you really let the ground really, your foot press into the ground a little here. As long as it doesn't hurt anything, it's good to get this momentum going. All right, and then let it rest. Do you feel any tingling up through the soles of your feet? Yeah, You may even feel it up through the shins and into the knees. So they talk about bone density, and what helps build our bone density, besides the food that we eat, is the weight we place on. We need to put some weight on the bones, right? So some of that's weightlifting, and some of it's doing the stomping movement. Again, if it doesn't hurt, if it hurts, then don't do it. But by doing the stomping motion, we're putting some force on those bones, right? Yeah. Yeah, if we had weights, that would be cool, wouldn't it? I should do that one day. Yeah, we should do that. We could stomp and we can do little bicep curls, right? But you can't just flail your arms. You actually have to squeeze and then stretch out. All right, so this isn't really a fitness class, but anyway, shake it out loud. I think it's a good idea. All right, so now we've done everything from head to toe. At least a nice warm up. So we'll start to prepare for some standing motion poses, but know that you can skip them. All right, we're going to play around with the idea of a lunge. So, and warrior two. So before we come into warrior two standing, we're just going to take the right leg out to the right. Good. And just notice how it feels on the inside of the thigh or the outer hip. The idea of warrior two is that we get this hip in external rotation. The left leg can stay where it is, or it can start to stretch out. It doesn't have to be all the way straight. I have a little bend in that left knee too. So with our hips in this wide stance, draw your thighs or squeeze your glutes in so that your thighs feel like they're pulling towards each other. Even though they're not going to touch, your thighs are not going to touch in this stance. This is where we start to strengthen through the hips, through the tops of the thighs. Good. Now then, if we take the arms out to the sides, palms down, relax your shoulders. This is our warrior two position. Warrior one is our hips facing the bent knee, which is turning our hips to the right. Isn't that interesting, right? And then we go to warrior two by turning our hips forward. Notice that that left leg had to change when we did that. Sweep that left arm forward, back to warrior one, which is actually a lunge in this case, and then back out to warrior two. Good, last time. This is actually lunge rather than warrior one. Good, and then release. Good, we're gonna need to walk that left foot in, bring the right leg back in. See if you feel something different on the left and the right. Yeah, that's a lot of hip work. So be very mindful of how far you actually want to go. So now the other direction, we're going to take the left leg out. And I have to kind of scoot toward that corner. It gives me a little bit more space. And notice that we'll feel some stretch here. Even in this pose, you want to feel the thighs as if they were drawing towards each other. All right, then right leg stretches, if possible. If not, then just keep it here, okay? Good. Now arms reach out, turn your chest forward. Good. And we're going to let that right arm come forward as we turn our hips to the side. Maybe the back heel comes up, the left heel comes up. Good. And then back to warrior two. Back to our lunge pose. To warrior two. Last time lunge pose. Good. And then releasing. How do we get out of this pose? We got to bend the knee, bring the left leg forward, and then come back to seated. Let's do a little forward fold to let go of that. So I wanted to take those poses really slow because I know that they're very strenuous, or they can be very strenuous, but I wanted to break it down and how you can take this as gentle or as strong as you want. Good, slowly make your way back up. Now take your time. If you want to make your way to standing, we're just going to stand on up from here. If you prefer to stay seated, we're going to probably just repeat those same kinds of poses, but in a slightly different way. So earlier I was talking about the importance of being able to get down to the ground and back up again. But I was also talking about there were studies, and it's a great time for a water break. How there are studies that say that we spend way too much time sitting, and as a result, our glute muscles are getting weak, which causes back pain, which causes hip issues, it causes all kinds of stuff. So the one good thing is all of us have to get up at least every so often to go to the bathroom, right? So when you have to get up to go to the bathroom, do a little bit of movement, do a little bit of marching in place. Hold onto your chair if you need to. Notice that when you lift your leg, you're using these muscles right in the front, the foot flexors. You're using the front of your thighs, but you're also stretching your glutes a little bit. And then do a little bit of hip side to side. And notice how that feels. Of course, you know, like I said, you're getting up to go to the bathroom, so you might have to wait till after, right? And then do a little bit of circles so that you get the front of the thighs stretching and the glutes kind of squeezing in. Reverse the circles. Good. And then come back to center. Nice. So if you will do that, you know, say that we have to at least every 2 hours for some reason, you know, whether you're getting a drink of water, going to the bathroom, try to do at least about a minute or two of movement that you don't normally do. And that's going to help you stay strong in your hips, right? So now as we find our mountain position, our toes are facing forward and we can have our ankles below our knees and our knees below our hips. You'll feel unsteady, take the feet a little wider, and that's okay too, okay? We're gonna find a little side stretch here. So we're gonna take a little lean to the left. Good, so you can just keep your hands on your hips if you want to. Start to press out through the right hip. Keep your right shoulder over your hips. Once you decide that that's as far as you're gonna go, then the right arm might come up, depending on your shoulder. Good, are you still breathing? Good, notice what you feel here. And then slowly come back up. Oh, notice how that felt. Beautiful. We'll do the other side. So we're gonna start to lean to the right. Hands can be on hips. And keep that left shoulder up. Try not to let it roll under or in front. And then if you want, add the left arm. Keep the breath going. Doesn't matter how far you go. Good. And then slowly come back up. Ooh, that's that big side stretch. So we did side to side. Now, how do we go into a bit of a back bend? Well, I'm going to turn mine sideways so you can see. We're going to keep our hands on our hips. Squeeze the glutes. Let the shoulders roll down and back gently. You don't have to go very far on this pose. This is just a tiny bit of a back bend. And then bring your torso back up. Slight bend in the knees, hands to thighs, forward fold. So you decide, you can keep your head or your body just about parallel to the ground, or you can bring the belly closer to the thighs. Head hangs down. Good, scoop the belly in, slowly come back up. Once again, hands to hips. Now here's another option. Depending on your shoulders, try to bring your elbows back like they were chicken wings being pinned back. If you find that from there you can bring your hands behind your back, you can take your palms behind you or hands to jean pockets. Either way, elbows are reaching back. Good. Squeeze the glutes. Gently let the chest lift, shoulders roll down and back. Nothing too far, nothing too strenuous here. Just feel that stretch of that back bend here. Good, and then draw the belly in, come back up. Take your hands forward, bend your knees slowly, roll back down into your forward fold. If you're in a forward fold, you can pause here. If it feels good, stay here. Let the head hang. You can keep your hands on your legs, or you can bend your elbows and reach for your opposite elbow and begin to sway over side to side, right and left. Feeling the twist and the side stretch in that option. You can do this in your chair too. And then bringing your hands back to the thighs, slowly come back up. Nice. We don't need really, really strenuous stuff to really feel our body moving through things. All right, beautiful. Okay, so we talked about warrior one and warrior two. And I think I'm going to just focus on warrior one for right now. So you're just stepping forward with your right foot. And then feel how, when you do that, you automatically start to lift the back heel. So if you do a small step, you don't have to lift either foot, but notice that there's a split stance. And so it's a little bit of challenge on our balance, right? All right, now go ahead and step that right foot back again. And the next time, take a little bigger step. So the right knee bends, the left heel lifts. So hopefully if you squeeze the glute, there we go. We're trying to keep those buns really strong, right? Now, maybe arms come forward. Maybe you're holding onto your chair, and that's okay too. So that's our warrior one. Good, and then we'll step that right foot back. So you might have to push into the right foot and come back. I find it's harder to get into warrior one by stepping forward rather than stepping back. So that's why I'm doing it, so we can challenge ourselves. All right, so let's do that other side. So little step, left foot forward. Think about your feet being on railroad tracks and keep enough distance side to side so you don't feel so wobbly, right? So once everything feels strong from the hips down, our upper body can do anything it wants to. We could swing our arms around and we're stable from the waist down. Good. Push back again. And then the next time, if you want to take a bigger step, you can. So the left knee bends, the right heel lifts off the ground. Good. And then from there, one or both arms up or hold on to your chair. This is our warrior one. Good. Bring the hands back down, and we're going to push into that left foot and press back. Yay! That's actually kind of a tough pose. I'm used to stepping back, but stepping forward is a little harder, right? All right, now feet go wide. And turn your toes to the right. So if you're in your chair, you're just taking your right leg over to the right and you're bending the right knee. Oh, there we go. There's our warrior two stance. Feel that. Arms are out, shoulders are down. Good. We'll add our peaceful warrior. So look at your right hand. Bring your left hand to the thigh. And now as you turn your right hand up, we're going to lift that up, feeling the right side of our body a little more stretched out through the rib cage there. Peaceful warrior. Good. And then back to warrior two. Right elbow goes to the top of the right thigh. Left arm can bring to the shoulder or reach up. Side angle pose. Good. Inhaling back to warrior two. Take a break by stretching out the leg, releasing the arms. And then come back into warrior two. We're going to do that one more time, but we're going to just do it through one breath. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Right arm up. Exhale back to warrior two. Inhale, right elbow to thigh, left arm over high. Good. Back up to warrior two. Release the arms, straighten the leg. Turn the toes forward. Whew, take a little break, wiggle out the hips here. We've got one more side. Good. Left toes turn to the left. Left knee bends. Remember, you can do this in the chair. Just take your left knee over to the side. Arms reach out. Soften your shoulders. Right hand to the right thigh. Look over your left hand. And then taking that left hand, reach it up. Open up through your rib cage. Good. Exhale back to warrior two. Left elbow bends, rests on the thigh. Then maybe your right hand goes either to your shoulder or reaches out. Good, back to warrior two. We're gonna do that one more time. Inhale, lifting up. Peaceful warrior. Exhale, back to warrior two. Left elbow to thigh, side angle. Inhale, back to warrior two. Good. Straightening the leg, releasing the arms, turn the toes forward. It's a nice time for a forward fold. So if you're in your chair, you can just bring yourself forward. You can press to your hips. Keep a soft bend in your knees and hinge halfway forward. Some of you will go deeper, your hands to the ground, but you don't have to. And then pull the belly in as you slowly roll back up. Cool. Now that we're in this big, wide stance, so how do we bring it together? Just heel toe your feet together. Nice job. Do a little march, do a little swinging. And then grab a drink of water, find your way back to your seat. It's time to let all of that work start to rest. Ew. Whew. Boy, does that feel good to sit down, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. So now here's time to check in again. How do you feel? It's not for me, it's for you. How do you feel? Do you feel tired? Do you feel strong? Do you feel accomplished, like, yay, I did that, you know? So just kind of check in. Yeah, so there could be an up, it could be a phew, it could be a, I'm ready to rest, right? So one of my very favorite poses, as you know, to rest or to stretch the hips is the pigeon pose. So right ankle goes over left ankle. Angle that knee out to the side. Good. If you can bring the ankle to the thigh, draw it up. Let your toes point forward so that you really feel the muscles around the knee contract. Protect the knee. Good. Stay here. Notice how it feels just to press the right thigh away from you. Or if you want more, then you begin to lean forward, hinging just at the hips till you find a place that feels like a nice stretch, but not painful. So pause here, let the body start to relax into the pose. Let the head become a little more relaxed, the shoulders. And if you want, you can even take a little rocking motion side to side. And then as you're ready to come up from this, always remember that you'll draw the belly in so that your core is working, and then lengthen your spine and press back up. So this is just like I said with the sit-ups, we're using our core muscles and our back muscles. Oh, take that right leg, shake it out to the side, a little in and out movement. And now notice that if we stretch out the right leg a little bit, we'll feel a little bit of stretch on the inside of the thigh. Use your right hand to hold onto the chair. And then lift up through the left side of your body. Find a nice big side stretch here. Good. And then release. Twist to your left, right hand to left. Look over your left shoulder. Good. And then back to center. Bring the right leg in. Find pigeon other side, left ankle over right. Opening that knee out to the side or bringing the ankle to the thigh. Pushing, pointing your toes forward. Gently press the thigh away with your left hand. I like that sensation. It feels good to me. If it doesn't feel good to you, skip it. It's okay. From there, decide if you want to come forward a little bit. Oh, this side I can't go as far. So just observe that we have different variations in our body. Rock side to side if that feels good. Good. And then slowly coming up to a long spine. And then as you uncross that leg, open it out to the side, do a little wiggle. As the leg stretches out, you're going to use the left hand to hold onto the side of the chair. You can hold onto your thigh. And then right arm either comes to the shoulder or reaches up as we take a side stretch here. Remember to keep breathing because we often hold our breath here. You all look beautiful. The ones I can see. Good. And then releasing. Take a little twist over to your right side, bringing your left hand to the right knee and looking over your right shoulder. And then unwind, come back to center. Slowly bring that left leg back in. Take a moment to move in any way that you need, whether it's wrist movements, whether it's neck movement, whether it's a forward fold. I always joke that you could take a headstand if you want to, right? Good. And then if you're ready to rest, we're just going to scoot all the way back. And let's take 3 cleansing breaths. A deep breath through the nose, a big sigh through the mouth. Ah. Good. 2 more at your own pace. Ah. And then as your shoulders soften, you can place your hands wherever it allows you to be comfortable. And allow your legs to actually start to sink into the chair. Close your eyes if you'd like. And let your breath now come just to a natural pattern. So just draw your awareness back in the body, noticing what you feel and where you feel it. If there's any tension in your face, relax your jaw. Soften the space between your eyebrows. And allow everything to just now rest. No more effort. If you find your mind starts to wander, bring it back to the sensations of the moment. Notice that the longer we are here, if you are surrendering to relaxation, you may start to find that things, let your muscles let go just a little bit more. Now gently begin to take a slightly deeper breath. Notice the lungs expanding, the ribs expanding with a deeper breath, and then let it go. As we start to take deeper breaths, we start to bring a little more energy into the body. Once you start to feel that energy, allow yourself to find a little bit of movement. Maybe rocking the head side to side. Maybe wiggling out your fingers. Wrist circle. Wiggling toes and lifting your ankles a little. So take your time as you come out of this Shavasana or relaxation time. If you'd like, you can stretch out. And then as you're ready, gently opening your eyes. Good. We'll take another deep breath in. And a big sigh. Good. Turn your palms up. Good. Inhale, bring your arms up. And then hands together in front of your chest. Good. Let's do that one more time. In, arms down, exhale. Inhale as high up as you want to go, or just right in front of your chest. Exhale. Good. Last one. Inhale. Hands together, right down the center of your chest. Good. Just giving yourself a little bow to say thank you to your body for participating today and to your mind for making the effort to be here. I want to thank you all for participating in class today and for giving me your energy. I couldn't teach to a blank screen, and it's wonderful to see you all. May you have a beautiful day. May you continue to be safe and healthy. The light in me sees and honors the beautiful light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.